Happy ETF launch day, everyone. What a great start, not in terms of price, but in terms of the net inflows. $106 million with more than $1 billion traded volume put us to almost match Ethereum yearly supply increase, which is currently sitting at 155 million US dollars a year. Within one day, we matched two-thirds of that. What would that mean for the crypto market, for Ethereum, and for alts? Stay tuned and let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. It's Wednesday. My name is Ross. Here on Data Dash, let's start our specially dedicated Ethereum, Bitcoin, and an altcoin video of today. And I would not be much different from other channels if I would not start with today's macro. And what I'm looking for here very precisely is the unemployment claims that are forecasted at 237,000 that are gonna come tomorrow alongside advanced GDP quarter over quarter progression. And for those who is watching this channel, watching my videos, you guys understand that we're a very tricky point of bifurcation when things can take both directions. Either we go into the soft landing, which so far never really happened, but with the modern monetary theory and infinite money printing and currency debasement, I'm not saying it's out of question right now. And the second option, we dive into stagflation and the boring few years of prolonged recession where the Federal Reserve would try to pump liquidity into the markets, but we don't know how ugly that can go. And my main driver for understanding what is gonna happen is actually those unemployment claims. If they're gonna spike up the market, I'm talking about the big market, not just the crypto market, the Wall Street is gonna get very scared because they would say Fed is behind. Fed is been waiting for too long to cut the interest rate, and Fed has caused the recession. So everyone started to take their profits out and portfolio managers are in the good profits. If on the other side, unemployment claims are not spiking up, the GDP is giving us the good progression, and the economy is still looking strong, that can definitely cause the rotation into small and medium caps with an associated rate cut. Whether it's going to be 1 in September, 2, some macro traders are pricing up to 3 rate cuts this year. And now let's dive into the charts and see what that would mean for crypto. And as you know, first of all, I love starting with the Forex, foreign exchange currency rotations. And here on EURUSD, we are still not able to break through this resistance. Of course, we'll try to attack it once again. And my question is, either it's going to come from the mid-range somewhere here, or we're going to bounce back to the lower values of the range. That question still remains intact. Looking at DXY here, we are not able to break through 200-day moving average, this white line that you see here on the daily. So I might expect the retest of 103.8 and potential low. That would be quite bullish for crypto. Looking at the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 10 or others dominance, in other words, I feel that we are holding this range low quite strong. We are starting to print RSI, money flow index, MACD divergences here. So I would expect a potential break of structure, break of market structure with us printing the higher high above here. Maybe not from the first attempt, maybe from the second attempt, as I have just drew. We're first gonna print the lower high, and then we're gonna print the higher low, and then we will start our uptrend here. And that would be very bullish for the small caps. Ethereum to Bitcoin was actually giving us the very strong bullish engulfing candle yesterday. And that's why I indicated in the Telegram alert group the following. Best case scenario for us to actually play some longs on alts would be the scenario where Bitcoin gives us sideways and Ethereum and other alts are catching up. And in this case, I would turn into altcoin lover for a period of time, and I will gonna start and study the narratives. Because looking at Bitcoin dominance chart closely here, I start seeing that we, despite being above 55%, we are acting the way we're supposed to act. The dominance is dropping and the pairing that should be performing is performing, which is ETH to BTC. Now let's look on the ETH BTC chart. It is, as I said, bullish engulfing candle, and that teleported us quickly above that double yellow resistance line that I've been indicating since multiple months, since pretty much the first video when I joined DataDash, saying that this high, this low, that all are retests of this same zone of supply or demand on ETH to BTC. And if we are able to accept into here right now, then we potentially also gonna have the breakout from this line. But this is a very good starting point to actually get rotated. Something like that can happen, maybe 2-3 attempts, and then we might break through those diagonal resistance line and actually print a very nice highs on Ethereum. But in order to understand what Ethereum gonna do, knowing what Ethereum to Bitcoin pair is going to do, I guess it's a good moment to actually look at Bitcoin and try to see what are the two options, what Bitcoin can do for the upcoming week. First of all, it does not look bad here at all because it accepted in the upper part of our range. That part, as we've been discussing, this range has not changed. I was explaining that these could totally act as the PO3 manipulation, and that would catapult us. Those were the highs that I explained on 11th of July, mentioning the following: Bitcoin remains below a major resistance, and we were at 58,000, but if it breaks this level, the price would return to 65,000. And this is pretty much what has happened on 11th of July here. At this level, we broke through those highs, and here we moved pretty much directly to this level of 65,000. Now we broke through that level, and we were able to accept into the upper part of the range. And now you're gonna ask, okay, but how do I analyze the movement for the upcoming week? This is very simple. I'm activating here this free indicator, which is Spaceman BTC key level. And we have an opportunity maybe to go in 4 hour if it's easier, because now we are talking a little bit more about, let's say, lower time frame moves. Let's clean up a bit the chart. And what do we have here? Here we have two opportunities. Let's highlight them with a red arrow. First opportunity is bullish. We are accepting into the Monday low. A Monday range is something that more often respected than not. Monday low gives us 66,500. And in this case, a very high probability that we're going to come and retest the Monday high of 68,500. So that move in BTC of roughly 3% almost can very well coincide with strong moves on alts, which can sometimes give us 5, 6, 7, 8%. But honestly, I would prefer Bitcoin to be a little bit more calm here. So the rotation into alts can happen via declining Bitcoin dominance. Here on Bitcoin dominance on 4-hour chart, we can see how we've been printing higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and boom, we receive first our market structure break. So now we are actually into the bearish pattern, and maybe that would be actually our first lower high here around 55.45%, and then we're gonna start doing something like that, and this would definitely give us a very nice long on alts that we're gonna review in a second. Now, coming back to Bitcoin chart, there is a second opportunity, and the second opportunity that we are not able to accept. And of course, that's also very probable. Looking at DXY here, DXY is potentially breaking through here. Everything can happen based on, for example, tomorrow job data, right? So what it means for me, of course, I don't want just to go short here. That's going to be without the confirmation. I'm not so interested, but I would love to actually scale into the head shorts for Bitcoin if we start losing those lows, if we are reconfirming this market structure break. Again, this MSB, I'm teaching you how to look at those charts from the market structure perspective. So here, let's maybe map that potential short. We're gonna be able to go short here, targeting all those first poor multiple lows here. There's where a lot of liquidity is sitting because everyone put their stop losses into those weeks, seeing a bunch of hammer candles. And moreover, we can also target those lows. Also, a bunch of liquidity is sitting there. So you see, sometimes I don't even need to go into the liquidation heat maps. I don't even need to look on the coin analyze, seeing open interest, cumulative volume delta. I already, first of all, formulate my game plan, and then that game plan can receive the higher degree of confluence via oscillators, via the zones where market makers are able to liquidate the 50x, 100x leverage traders, and so on and so forth. But first, you need to be able to formulate a hypothesis that you can go and double check. Now, looking at Ethereum chart, what can we see here? First of all, yesterday I indicated in the Telegram group that I'm liking this low-term time frame market structure break on Ethereum. So what happened is cumulative volume delta on spot was picking up. We saw those higher high printing, and we added Ethereum. Price is still where it was, so it didn't really move anyhow much, but I see still this bid is persisting. So on one hand, I saw that swipe of all of those range low liquidity, but in the same time, I see still a bunch of this poor lows here. So I see there's two opportunities here. Either that was the swipe and we are actually getting long from here, and then my stop loss, apologize, we're gonna go with a long trade, not obviously a short trade on Ethereum. We're gonna have the stop low slightly below that week, something around 33.80, and then we can target actually a lot of those highs on the daily. That's gonna bring us at least to 3,660. And that's exactly the value I've been highlighting yesterday, target 3,660 in the alerts, right? So that would be my first game plan, and I think that's the most probable game plan out of all. The second option, if BTC does not reclaim Monday low, as you remember, we just saw two opportunities on Bitcoin, then coming back to 4 hour, then I'm expecting those lows to be reclaimed, to be taken, and that level to be held. The yellow level of 3,360 would be the zone from where I would start adding, keeping in mind there is one more week here, so I'm comfortable to allocate everywhere within this fair value gap, basically between this red line of 3,260 and 3,360. So that would be my DCA zone, keeping in mind that inefficiency zone at around 15th of July. So what I would do, for instance, in that particular Ethereum trade, if I'm completely not allocated here, I would separate my buys between the spot and the futures. And what I would do, I would go on Bybit here. Why Bybit for spot? Because I really love the functionality of me being able to treat spot the same way I treat futures in a very simple manner. For example, here I say I want to buy 20 Ethereum roughly at around 3,455 USDC. That's also a great advantage to be able to do everything in USDT or USDC, because a lot of exchanges that only allow you USDT. And with this European new compliance rule, you cannot trade the future, so they will be soon discontinued. Like, I really love the fact that Bybit doesn't have this issue, so you can full on go into USDC mode, which also, in my opinion, is much more secure as the stable coin, but that's a topic for another video maybe. So 20 Ethereum, and then I decide, okay, and I'd love to actually put my stop loss. Where I put my stop loss, where we discussed 3,380, maybe I would say 80.5. And then to make sure that there is no slippage, I actually decide to put the limit here at 3,380, because I don't want to get filled at 3,370, 60, 50. Like, imagine we have this huge liquidation cascade, so I make sure that I only sell at the price that I desire to sell at. And the same way I can also say for the take profit, and we discussed here, take profit, I'm much more comfortable, for example, to, as we discussed, that would be my take profit. I click yes, and I actually set up this order here, and this is 100% spot order. That means I don't have to pay the funding. I don't have to worry about how long that trade will be open, and in terms of everyone, in case everyone goes long and then funding escalates, and it's like not my biggest trade obviously, but it's still like 20 ETH, so that's roughly around close to a small 6-digit amount. And then imagine I would like to keep it for too long, then I would have to pay a bit in funding. So to not have any of those worries, but to be able to treat this trade as pure futures trade that has clear invalidation point, clear stop loss, clear take profit, even before the trade is executed, is the huge advantage that other exchanges do not have. There you would have to buy, then you would have to wait when the order is filled. Maybe it's gonna happen overnight, maybe it drops down, so then only you can come and set up the stop loss. So definitely like not how I'd like to treat my trades, and that's the reason why I fully moved on to Bybit. Like, no offense to other exchanges, but none of the other exchanges provide that spot convenience trading functionality. So for me, it's a big game changer. And then, as you remember, what I do, for example, this is my spot, right? And now I go to Teal Street. I have this Teal Street to Bybit integration. So you see, it's my real wallet. It's not like just for demonstration purposes. Have around $500,000 here. Like, I just keep on the exchange what I want to trade. That's quite enough, I would say, for me also, to be in this Ethereum trade. So what I do here, then I create a couple of zones. Those has been created yesterday. I, for example, might want to take this out. Takes 1 second. And if I want to scale in, let's say just for the demonstration purposes, I create my price low 3,300.00, and everything between here and, for example, 30, and I want also to allocate 80,000 USDT. So I click on preview, and boom, I have created with a matter of a second 10 future buy orders. And now I just click submit, and they're executed. If you want to be a little bit more advanced, you can also decide, okay, I'd love to actually distribute the price in a different manner. I'd like more of those orders to get allocated towards the bottom of the range. So with that zone being fully hit, my break-even will be roughly here or here, but not like in the middle. That's a huge advantage as well, especially if you are bidding on the higher range. And where we can apply it, let's go now and see the altcoins down below. But before we go into altcoins, I want to let everyone know that we have a special partnership with Bybit, that if you even are not a confident trader and you only want to deposit, for example, 200 USDT or 100 USDT, I think that's the minimum, you receive 500 USDT trade for free. If you proceed with the link down below, all you need to do is to follow the simple process that honestly, like KYC verification level 1 takes less than a minute. It's all automated. All you need to do is to have any type of document like driver's license or passport. What I am really emphasizing here, that for me, it is a great way to learn and to build a confidence in trading, because once you see your win rate, once you see how you're able to consecutively build up your P&L progression is actually positive, whatever the market gives here, then you're much more confident, much more calm, much more peaceful to also allocate a significant amounts of money, like your family retirement portfolio, into more sustainable, less risky assets. For example, the bond ETF like TLT and so on and so forth. So this is for me not something that I believe everyone needs to do, but everyone who manages any amount of money, I believe, should learn tiny bit the trading. It doesn't have to be on 15 minutes time frame, it doesn't have to be on 1 hour time frame, but even if you trade on the daily, and we'll see now the altcoins that are starting to look very juicy, very healthy on the daily, this is still a great way to find your own win rate, to find your own demons when it comes to trading, and overcome them. And when it comes to altcoins themselves, we're going to have a specially dedicated buy video when I'm going to tell you what I'm buying, why, which narratives they are. I think right now it's still a little bit early. I want to see more confirmations for, swing buys. But what's important here is that you understand the market structure, how it functions. So here, for example, on Phantom, does it yet give us a buy signal? Not yet, because we are still in their lower high, lower low, lower high, lower lower, lower high, lower low territory. So this high has not been broken, right? On one hand. On the other hand, when we are looking on, for example, 4 hourly, you can also say, okay, but we are kind of establishing the uptrend right now. Despite we did not break those highs on the daily here on 4 hourly, we started this very nice uptrend. And my invalidation point here is very tight. So what I want to do, I want to long Phantom here, keeping in mind here a little bit where it is right now, 49 cents, 49.5 cents. And what I want for this Phantom guy to do is to, of course, target all these highs here, but not to break below that current higher low that we are printing. So my actually trade here, it is looking quite good. It is having a very nice risk reward. Of course, you don't have to hold your all trades for 8 to 1x. You can take some of the profits. You can take take profit here around those highs, So yeah, you would slightly scale out of your trade, but that's one way to approach it from a little bit low time frame perspective. And I'm explaining you here how I would look at those things. And now we're going on a daily on something like Litecoin. And Litecoin, for example, it is almost close to MSB, which by now you already know is signifying the market structure break. So if I highlight that zone here, it's like a tiny bit of a rectangle, a little bit more narrow, then you understand that that coin actually, from the higher time frame perspective, it starts looking way more bullish, because once it reclaims, bam, of course, all those zones of liquidity can be targeted. So it can give us a nice, 50% move in a matter of a week or two. But right now, if I go on a 4 hourly, maybe that trade is slightly less favorable than a Phantom trade, because despite the overall structure is more bullish, my invalidation point here is not as favorable. So for that particular coin, I would like to actually do that thing first. I would like that daily here, this order block to be resolved to the upside. So just with those two examples, you already understand how you can think and analyze the market, being either mid-time frame trader or higher time frame trader. Some traders only stay on a daily and then they look at 4 hourly and then confirmations. And some traders, they look at a daily, then at 4 hourly, then an hourly. And in order to enter, they actually look at 15 minutes. So every one of us has different time to be in the market, different amount of time that can actually spend observing the market, and also different frequency of being available through the day. Someone works actually 9 to 6, for example, and then they can only set up the trade in the evening. So for them, the trade waiting for this Litecoin acceptance will be way simpler. All they need to do is to go here, click on the horizontal button, and basically create an alert, add alert on Litecoin. And so you can, of course, modify your alert. You can edit it and you see, okay, every time the Litecoin price is going to cross 76 USDT, I want to be notified, and for example, and once I accept here above, I actually want to buy spot. There are other traders and they are more frequently on the market. They can do different strategy. So if you want, for example, to place this alert, you click on the horizontal line in the top left corner, and then you see, okay, this level, 76 USDT. This is, for example, you can mark it in a yellow line just for your visualization, and you click on this plus on the right next to the scale and you add alert. And then you click on edit and you decide, okay, every time 76 USDT is crossed, I want to be notified. Expiration in 1 month, and I say, okay, LTC bullish break daily. And this way, you're able to see the price accepts here and you're actually buy it on spot, and then you wait for your 40% to take all that liquidity here and even tap into this fair value gap that we see all the way to $93, right? That will be one strategy, and that would be the strategy which is suiting more for people who have less availability across the market, less time to spend and less time to observe. And then there is the third type of altcoins that have already done something that Litecoin is just trying to do. And you see how Avalanche here is much more bullish than previous 2 coins that we reviewed. Why? Because first of all, it has created this market structure break on a daily. And second of all, this daily candle looks like a green hammer. And I'm going now on 4 hourly. And of course, everything that we discussed is also intact. Low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. So you can, with much more confidence, set up this entry here, assuming that the market structure would keep intact on 4 hourly. And then, of course, you can target this fair value gap and so on and so forth. This I don't need to already explain how it works. But what's important is that you start analyzing with the market structure and not just buying a certain altcoin because someone on Twitter told you that's an amazing project that's going to do 10x because the team of developers is great and are resolving the huge problem, which is estimated at 20 billion total addressable market. That's all great, but it can also lag here for another 4 months. So your liquidity will be locked somewhere. And for example, the development team will be selling into you, and then you will wait how that great project will perform. So you want to buy the strengths, right? And with these 3 examples of 3 altcoins, you can already come, look at it daily and analyze why Avalanche is the better trade in that particular setup. With all that said, I'm trying to make our videos a little bit shorter so that I'm more accessible for people who have less time. I wish you all an amazing continuation of the week. We're going to review more things on Friday. Much love. Stay tuned. Bye.